welcome to Edu Idea. Great ideas come from great teachers. Hello guys, welcome to part 3. So for this review, we will have word problems. Okay, let's just jump to number 24. The sum of twice of a number p and 7 is 15. Write the sentence as an algebraic equation and solve for the value of p. Okay, so every time you have a word problems, the easiest way to do this is to analyze sentence by sentence and then find keywords which represent the arithmetic operation. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first sentence. The first sentence is the sum of twice of a number p and 7 is 15. Okay, so the keyword for the arithmetic operation is this one over here, the sum, right? So sum means that you are adding, right? So you're adding. Okay, and then we get twice of, so what are you adding here? You are adding these terms, so this term over here and this term over here, right? So it's separated by the word and. It means that you're adding this one and this one, right? Okay, so I can write that down, the blue mark or the blue highlight, we can write that down as twice of a number p. Twice means that you multiply by 2. Okay, so that is also a keyword actually, right? So I can write down this one here. Twice means that 2 like multiply by 2. What are you multiplying by 2? Is the p. So which means that I can write that first sentence by 2p. For this one is 2p. Okay, and then we say and 7, so it's and 7. Okay, and then this one here is in arithmetic operation, in a mathematical form, it's represented by the equal sign. Okay, equals to 15 because it's equal to 15. Okay, so we have this equation, algebraic equation, so we only need to solve it, right? So remember, we get two-step equation. We have that we're going to get rid of that 7, right? So by subtracting both sides by 7. So I'm subtracting this by 7, subtracted by 7, and then I will get 2p on the left side, and then on the right side we have 15 minus 7 is equals to 8, right? Okay, now I'm gonna continue that. We have 2p equals 8, so let's get rid of that 2 by dividing both sides by 2. Okay, divide this by 2, divide it by 2, and then you can cancel this 2, and then you only get p on the left side of the equal sign, and then 8 divided by 2 is equals to 4. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, next question. Budi has 6 more pencils than Susie. If Susie has 15 pencils, write this case as an algebraic equation to solve how many pencils does Budi has. Okay, so if you want to represent numbers, unknown value into variables, it is easy to pick a letter that is easy for you to so we can represent the number of Budi's pencil with let's say it's B, right? So number of Budi's pencil with B, and the number of Susie's pencil is represented by S, right? Because yeah, their name has their first letter of their name is B and S. Okay, so I can write down the first sentence like Budi has 6 more pencil, right? Has means equals, right? So has means equals. And we have this keyword here, more. More means added, right? So I can write down that as B is equals to 6 plus S, right? Because B, this is Budi's pencil. The number of Budi's pencil is 6 more than Susie's pencil, right? Okay, so, and then after we write down the equation, then we have the second sentence. If Susie has 15 pencils, so which means that we can substitute the value of S by 15, right? This is S equals to 15, so let's substitute that. B equals to 6, and then that S becomes 15, right? Because Susie has 15, so which means that B is equals to 6 plus 15 is equals to 21. And then please, because this is a word problem, you need to write down the sentence to make a conclusion. So Budi has 21 pencils. Okay. The next question, number 26. The sum of three consecutive integers is 48. Okay. If the smallest number is denoted by the variable x, write this case as an algebraic equation to find out the smallest number from that three numbers. Okay, so we have three numbers, right? And then it said on the first sentence we have the sum. Again, we have sum here. So sum means like the same thing like total, you add, right? So what are you adding here? You are adding three consecutive integers. Okay, and then we have this word here which is equal, and then this is 48. So you are adding three things, right? Three things, not three things, three numbers, right? Three values. So I'm gonna write that here. So you are adding three consecutive integers. And that will be equals to 48, right? And then notice that we have this word here, consecutive. Okay, consecutive means in order. For example, like this, if I have a number, let's say 3, if I want to have three consecutive integers, I will go to, I will get 4 and 5, like 3, 4, 5. It's three consecutive integers. Or I have like 10, 11, 12. This is also three consecutive integers, right? So this is the example of numbers, like three numbers that are consecutive. Yeah, integers. And then if the smallest number is denoted by the variable x, okay, so which means that if I put the smallest number here, so that will be x, right? So I'm going to write down x over there. This is x. And then write this case as an algebraic equation to find out the smallest number from the three numbers. Okay, the smallest number is denoted by x, so we're looking for the value of x. Okay, so notice that this is going to be the keyword here. So consecutive, again, like I said before, it is in order because it's integers, so we can have like 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, and so on, right? So this is the if I have this as an example, for example, this one is x, right? The 3 is the x. Notice that if I want to go to the next term, to the next value, I add that with 1, right? If I go to the next one over here, I add that with 2. So which means that if I have this x, means that the second term will be x plus 1, right? Because I'm just adding with 1. And the third term will be x plus 2 because I'm adding 3 with 2, and then I will get 5. The same thing with this one, right? For example, like this one, if this is x, right, then I will get this one as add that with 1. If I go here, I add this 10 by 2, so I get x plus 2. So this is just an illustration, like the example of the some values of numbers. So which means that we can write that down again in here. I'm gonna change this, becomes x plus 1, right? And then this one over here becomes x plus 2. Okay, as you can see that we have the algebraic equation, and then we can solve it, right? Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to simplify the expression on the left side over here. We can simplify it. Why? Because we have like terms. This guy and this guy and this guy, right? X plus x plus x is equals to 3x, right? And then we also have another like terms, which is 1 and 2, right? This one here is like term with this one, right? 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, right? So it's easy as that. 8 plus 3. And that will be equals to 48. Okay, so this is two-step algebraic equation, right? We can do this. So we can get rid of that 3 by subtracting by 3 for both sides of the equal sign. So this is minus 3, and this is also minus 3. So we'll get rid of this, right? So which means that we have 3x on the left side, and on the right side we have 48 minus 3 is 45, right? So I'm gonna rewrite that. Sorry, so I'm gonna rewrite that over here, and we have 3x equals to 45. Since we know that we want the x to be alone on the left side of the equal sign, so we can just divide both sides by 3, right? Divide this by 3, divide this by 3. You can cancel the 3, and then we get x on the left side of the equal sign, and a 45 divided by 3 is 15. Okay, so this is the final answer. And again, because this is a story problem or problems you need to write down sentence, we have the smallest number is 15. Okay, there you go. Okay, next question. The sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 90. So it's pretty much almost the same with this one. For number 26, it's the 3 consecutive integers, right? So 3 consecutive integers for number 26. But for number 27, it is the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers, right? So let's see what's the difference. Okay, so if okay, I'm gonna read this first. Okay, the sum of 3 consecutive even number is 90 if the smallest number is denoted by the variable m. Okay, so the variable that we're going to use for this one is m because it is said on a in the question. We have m here. Write this guy's an algebra equation to find out the largest number. So the question is the largest numbers, right? But we can solve that for that later. Okay, for that 3 numbers. So let's analyze step by step, like sentence by sentence. The first sentence we have the sum. Again, the sum means that the total. So you add, right? So you're adding. Okay, wait. You are adding, right? What are you adding? You're adding 3 consecutive even number, right? 3 consecutive even number. And then we have is means equals. And then that will be equals to 90, right? Because this is 90, right? So equals, if you add 3 terms, 3 value, 3 consecutive even number, you get 90. Okay, so it said that if the second sentence is the smallest number is denoted by the variable m. So if I put the smallest number here, like in order, like this is the first number, the second number, and the third number, right? So that on the left, like the left term, this is m, right? This is over here is m. Okay, so we need to figure out these 2 terms in terms of m, right? So I'm gonna give you an example. For example, we have like 3 consecutive even number is something like this. For example, I have like 4 and then 6 and then 8, right? We know all of these are even numbers, and it is consecutive, right? Because after you get 4, after 4 is 6 and then 8 and then 10 something. But we only need 3, right? 3 consecutive even number. So let's assume that the first number is m. So if this is m, as you know that if we go to the next term, you're adding that with 2. So we need so which means that the second term is m plus 2, right? And then if you go to the next term here, so that you are adding that with 4. So we can write this down as m plus 4, right? It can be any number. This is just an example, guys. Okay, so again, we can write this down. With the second term, we have m plus 2, right? This one here. And then the third term will be m plus 4. This one over here, okay? So, again, we have the equation here. We only need to solve it. So the first thing that we need to do is, if you can simplify expression, simplify them. Like if you see like terms, you combine them. For example, like this one here, we have m, and then we have another m, like m plus m. That will be 3m, right? And then we have another like term, which is the plus 2 and the plus 4. This one over here, and over here, 2 plus 4 is equals to 6, right? So, and don't forget to write down the arithmetic conversion, right? So since this plus 6, that will be equals to 90. Okay, so let's solve this. We have 3m plus 6 and equals 90. So subtract both sides by 6 because we're going to get rid of this one here. Okay, so minus 6 also over here. So we get 3m on the left side of the equal sign. We have 90 minus 6 is 84. Okay, and the last one is just divide both sides by 3, right? Divide this by 3, divided by 3. You can cancel the 3. You get the m alone on the left side of the equal sign. Okay, now I'm running out of space here. So m is equals to 84 divided by 3. That will be 28. Yes, that's going to be 28. So here you go. You have the answer, but this is it's not the final answer. Why? Because the m is the smallest number, right? So the smallest number is m. It's just the smallest number. But the question is, find the largest number, right? So this is actually quite easy because we know that the largest number is denoted by m plus 4, right? the largest number is this one, right? This is the smallest one, this is the second number, this is the third number. And we know that the third number is the largest number, so that will be represented by m plus 4. So I'm going to erase this one, I'm going to eat it anymore. So which means that the largest number, right? The largest number is m plus 4. And since we know that m is 28, right? So substitute that m with 28. So that will be equals to 28 plus 4, and that will be equals to 32. Okay. Next question, number 28. Amy had $50 bill to spend for 10 pencil and 6 books. The price of a book is $3.5. After buying the pencil and books, the remaining money that she had is $4. How much is the price of a pencil? Okay, so again, sentence by sentence. Here we have Amy. He had $50 bill to spend, so she started with $50. And then spend. Okay, so let's again find the keyword here. So okay, had means spend means you subtracting, right? So for example, like you have $50 and you spend $10 for an ice cream, for example, right? So which means that you're subtracting 50 with 10, that will be equals 40, right? Simple stuff. Okay, so we can write it down like this, guys. So Amy has $50 bill, so the 50 goes first because she started with this $50, and then spend means minus, right? So what did she spend onto with 10 pencil and 6 books? Okay, like I said before, because this is money, and then also will require money, right? So how can we find the price of 10 pencil? We only need to multiply this 10 by the price of 1 pencil, right? So 10 pencil and price is 10 multiplied by the price of 1 pencil. So we can say that we can represent P as the price of 1 pencil, right? So I'm going to write that here. So P is equals to the price of a pencil. Okay, so denoted by P. So I can write this down as, okay, $50 bill, I'm going to subtract that by 10P, right? Because 10 times P is, 10P. Okay, and then it's not just 10 pencil, but she also spent that with 6 books. So the same thing with 10P. I'm gonna subtract that with 6B this time because B is, I'm gonna represent the price of a book with B. So I'm gonna write down also over here. So we have B is equals to the price of a book. Okay, and then the price of a book is $3.5. So we can, I know that is going to be 3.5. So I can write that down later actually. And then after buying the pencil and books, the remaining money that she had is $1. So it means that if I have this if she had this $50 and she spent it with this one, and the remaining money, and then that will be equals to $4, right? This one is the remaining money. Okay, since we know that the price of a book is $3.5, so we can substitute the value of B with 3.5 because B represents the price of a book. Okay, so let us rewrite that again. We have 50 minus 10P minus 6, and then multiply that by 3.5. That will be equals to 4. Okay, now let's calculate this. We have 50 minus 10P, and then we know that 6 times 3.5 is 21, right? Equals to 4. And then I can simplify this 50 and minus 21, right? 50 minus 21 is 29, right? So I can write down that again as 29 minus 10P equals to 4. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this 29, right? So by subtracting both sides by 29, so I'm gonna subtract this by 29 and this by 29, so I'm gonna get rid of these, right? So that 29 will be gone, so I will have minus 10P on the left side of the equal sign. So be careful, guys, that the minus still over there, right? So it doesn't go anywhere. So that will be equals to 29. 4 minus 29 is minus 45, right? Okay, so I'm gonna rewrite that again. We have minus 10P equals to minus 25, And then we want to get rid of this minus 10, right? So divide both sides by the same exact number, which is minus 10. Divided by minus 10 and divided by minus 10. So again, be careful guys with negative numbers, okay? So we can cancel this, and you get p on the left side of the equal sign, and then 25 divided by 10 will be 2.5, right? Positive. Since previously we are denoting the, we represent the p as the price of a pencil, so we can have a conclusion that the price of a pencil is $2.5, right? $2.5 from here. Okay, let's go to the next question. The formula of the area of a triangle is given by A as for area equals to HB. H is height, B is base over 2, right? So this is actually the formula of a triangle that you have learned before in elementary school. Okay, where A is the area, H is the height, and B is the base length. Okay, a triangle has an area of 32 centimeters square. If the height is 20 centimeters, calculate the base length. Okay, so how do we solve this question by using algebra? The first thing I need to do is to rewrite again the formula, which is A equals to HB. HB means H times B, okay, over 2. And then you see here that we have this as the A, right? So you can substitute that with A with 32. So I'm going to write 32 over here, right? And then we also have this 20 centimeter as the height, which is denoted by the letter H. So I can change that becomes 20 for the H. But I don't know the base length yet. So the B here is still B, okay, over here. And then the 2 still over here, right? So as you can see here that we have this guy, and then we substitute the numbers or values of A and H becomes this one, right? So we can solve this question, right? So the easiest way again to do this, if you can simplify. We know that on the right side of the equal sign, we can cancel this one, right? So 20 divided by 2 is 10, right? So we can rewrite that equation again as 32 equals to 10b. Okay, so I'll focus on the variable. The variable is on the right side of the equal sign, over here, right? So which means that because it's not alone yet, we have this 10, so divide both sides by 10 so that the b is alone in one side of the equal sign. So I get divide this by 10 and then also divide it by 10, and then I can cancel the 10, right? So I will get the b, so on the right side of the equal sign, and 32 divided by 10 is 3.2. So I can have a conclusion of the base length is 3.2. And don't forget to write down the unit, which is centimeter, right? It's a centimeter and centimeter. Okay, next question. Aaron got n plus 1 marks in his math test. So I can write this first sentence as A equals to n plus 1. Aaron equals n plus 1 marks in his math test. Okay. Jane got 7 more marks than Aaron. Right. So let's denote Jane by J. Right. This is A and this is J. Right. Got 7 more. Got 7 more. Right. More means added. Right. Than Aaron. Okay. Write down the expression for number of marks of Jane. So actually, this is the answer, right? But we know that we can substitute this A by n plus 1, right? So notice that we have, this is also A, right? So A can be substitute by n plus 1. So I can write that again as J, right? The J is 7 plus n plus 1, right? Because I'm substituting the A by n plus 1. And then since we have like terms here, right? So the like term is this one and this one. We can combine that. So I can write the final answer as J is equals to n plus 8. Or you can have 8 plus n is actually the same exact thing. Okay, number 30. Okay, number 31. Ali has K books. Okay, K is the number of books. Okay, it represents, like this variable is represent an unknown value. And then Robbie has half as many as Ali plus 8. So, okay. So again, I can write the first sentence as A is equals to K, right? The Ali has K books. And then the second sentence, Robbie, let's write Robbie as R, has half as many books as Ali, right? Half means multiply by 1/2, right? Half times A, right? As many as Ali, plus A, plus that with A, okay? Write down an expression for the number of books as Robbie. So actually, we're done here, but because we know that we can substitute the A with K, right? The A is a K, so this one we can write that down as K. So R equals to half of K plus A, and we're done. Okay, number 32. Kyle sells cake at $2.50 each. He has to pay $21 to set up his stall, and 0.1, sorry, should be point. For each cake, sorry, this is also point. Oh my goodness. Okay. For each cake he sells P cakes. So P is the number of cakes that he sells. He can sell 10 cakes, 20, 30, okay, as many as he can sell. Okay. Write down an expression in P for the income that he made. Okay. Okay. So income, we can write that income, right? The income of like the money that he will get, like income, he will get it from the money that he get from selling the cake, right? So the money get from selling cake, and then subtracted by well, he needs to pay something, right? He has to pay $21 to set up his stall, so that will be the the money that he get, but and then he need to use that money to pay this one over here, right? So installment cost, like stall cost, installment of the stall. You can write down. Yeah. Okay, so that will be equals to the money that he get from selling cake is this one, right? So he sells the cake at $12.5 each. So this is like for I'm getting money from the selling cake. So that 2.5, right? We get 2.5 for one, right? This one is just for one cake. Since he will sell the P number of cakes, right? And we don't know how many cakes that he will he can sell, right? So you can write this down as 2.5 multiplied by the number of cake, right? So 2.5. So this is the money that he gets from selling cake. But notice that he also needs to pay something, right? So he needs to have this money to pay for each of the cake. Here we have like this one here, right? He needs to pay $0.1 for each of the cake. So that will be subtracted by 0.1p, right? So that is for the money that he gets from selling the cake. So it's not just 2.5 because that one is just like getting the money, but he also needs to pay for each of the cake. He also needs to pay $0.1. Okay, and then minus the installment of the stall, which is 21. Okay, so that is for the income. So I can we can simplify this, right? 2.5p minus 0.1p is 2.4p, right? 2.4p and then minus 21. So this is the income that he will get, right? Okay, so for example, I have extra question, like for example, if he can sell if he can sell let's say 10 cake, for example, I'm gonna add some question here. If he sells 10 cakes, okay, what is his income? Okay, so because we know that we have this formula as to find the income, so I can just write down income that will equal to 2.4 multiplied by 10, because this 10 is representing the number of cakes. So I can change or substitute that p with 10 and then minus 21, right? So this one here. So multiply that, we get 24 minus 21, so I will get equals to $3. So by selling 10 cakes, he will get an income of $3, something like that. Yeah.